everyone, this is Marie Blue Angel and I am back with Keyframes. I'm very excited to check out Extra Fries, this little diner that we're in right now, and see what we get up to. Reminder that it is like 1 a.m. in the morning, or past that, because we have been studying in preparation for finals, and it's the end of the night and we need some good food to end it. So without further ado, let's get into it, and hopefully let's see to the end of finals, because I don't want to deal with it anymore as much of it. Well, as much as I'd like to. Although I guess right now it's currently final seasons for people if you're in the semester schedule. So good luck if you are, because those exams are no joke. Anyways, then they went down to the waitstaff, who were helping customers at the far side of the room. Every single staff member was very, very muscular. Oh, this is... How have I never heard of this place? Elio, you'd fit right in. I think his biceps are bigger than my head. Elio mumbled his last sentence before putting on a bright smile, preparing to greet the waiter who was rolling over to greet you. A wide-shouldered young man around your age with dark hair and an easy smile. The wheels of his skates were bright teal, contrasting sharply with the tiled flooring as he slid to a practiced stop in front of you. Cam, Deja, Marie, where have you guys been? I saw you guys pull in. And you brought friends. Immediately, he stuck a hand out, moving down the line for 3 handshakes in quick succession. You can call me Nikki, okay? You are here with these 3, so I'm assuming you know what's up. What's up? With the whole place. But my aunt's gonna kill me anyway if I don't give you the full pitch. So, welcome to Extra Fries, where we have to exercise for the extra fries. He promptly turned to strike a pose in profile, the light in his eyes dulling comically as he flexed a bicep. Okay. And the skates are a part of it. These skates are, in fact, a part of it. See, you're already getting the hang of things. I have another question. Is it about the posing? It's company policy, part of the marketing. From the way Elio's eyes were fixed firmly on Nikki's way too tight shirt sleeves, he was patently not wondering about the poses. Hey, don't think I forgot about you 3. You skip visits for a couple weeks and you think you're not getting one of these? A what? Oh, a hug. Nikki scooped Cameron into a sideways hug, and Elio visibly paused to process the difference in stature between them. Since you were already watching, you had to cough to hide a smile. Every movement only emphasized the bulk of Nikki's muscles, and the way Cameron nearly disappeared only served to further the visual effect. Deja Marie, you in or not? He held his other arm out, and with a laugh, Deja stepped close. She was pulled just barely off the floor, and after a brief squeeze, Nikki let her back down. How do you want to greet Nikki? If I run straight to you, will you catch me? All right, my turn now. Bring it in, big guy. Haha, not this time, Nikki. Is this a test? What about our secret handshake? I guess this one, I think it would be fine. I guess it's more so if you personally don't like hugs or anything. Why have I got to bring it to you every time, huh? So he complained, but he still wrapped you up in his arms and gave you a tight squeeze, shaking you gently back and forth before he dropped you back to the floor. Better start training. Next time, you're returning the favor. Okay, how about we get some orders going? Slipping a pen from behind his ear, Nikki dug a grease-spotted notepad from the front of his pocket, or his apron pocket. I might as well get him now before Aunt Camilla realizes you're here. Do you...
Nicola, where are you?
Never mind. I'm right here. What?
Nikki, I asked you to change that bowl into a gill 2 minutes ago. We've got a starving customer out in the drive-thru lane and Cammy!
And here came the matron of the entire diner, the lovely and effervescent Camilla, wearing bright pink skates and rolling over with a high-pitched coo of recognition. For an older woman, she could really move. You were pretty sure she could also bench press you if she really put her mind to it. Instead, all she did was reach out to pinch Cam's cheek. Hi, Mia. Oh,
Oh, it's been a while since you stopped by, Cammy. You look thin. We're here too, Mia. Of course. Can't ever see one of you without having to feed all three of you right after. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Camilla turned, and you braced yourself for the cheek pinching of a lifetime. Every time it happened, you were just relieved that she knew how to keep her manicured nails from poking you too badly.
Honestly, what is that school feeding you? You kids got appetites, don't you? Come, come, you need a table. Your little friends too, come on.
Sorry, Mia. We're just here to pick up and then head out.
That same old place you're always running off to, huh? You never stay and talk anymore. Who am I going to tell about my latest bad date, huh? I keep trying to tell Nicky about him, and you know what he does? Pretends he's deaf.
You keep oversharing. I don't want to know. In fact, I don't need to know.
You know what you don't gotta know is the part I didn't even tell you. You know about how he...
Oh, Camila!
Oh, hush. We got customers.
Oh, Mia. Sorry you can't stay, but I told you that guy was no good.
Well, you know me. I love fixing men.
Oh, God. Aunt Mia.
Anyway, look at me, keeping you from your food when I said you all looked so hungry.
Camilla's eyes turned on Percy, Jamie, and Elio next. All three of them visibly fought not to back away, but luckily as newcomers they were spared the indignity of any cheek-pinching.
You kids know what you want? Extra fries versions. You're up.
Deja's placid smile was a poor disguise for how utterly delighted she was by the entire encounter. She stood to one side with her nails tapping innocently across her lips, waiting with bated amusement as Elio stepped to the plate. So, can I get the Let's Talk About Fitness set with the avocado sauce on the side? Anything to drink? Bench press juice? What kind of juice is it? Standard press juice. Oranges, turmeric, and sweat. Next order? The Never Skip Leg Day set, extra crispy. You? No meal for me, thank you.
What's that?
Jamie met Camilla's narrowed eyes with his own, blinking calmly as he withstood the silent, looming pressure of a matron trying to feed all her guests. I'm sharing with him.
You could order another of the set, then.
It's late. I've had dinner already. But I would like a vanilla milkshake.
We don't have those on the menu.
We call them abdominal snowmans. One small abdominal snowman, please.
All right. Marie, what do you want?
But are we ordering so that we can share? I'll just do the regular. The regular, of course, whatever that was today.
Oh, honey, today that'll be potato. Nico's dad grew too many in his silly garden. And I'll tell ya, we're all sick to death of gnocchi right now. Gnocchi. We'll get you a cup holder for all the toppings. You deserve it.
By potato, does she mean a baked one or fries?
Oh, they don't sell fries here.
But it's called extra
Oh, nah, she's right, kiddo. We don't actually do fries.
Unless you say you don't want extra fries. Then we can get you some shoestrings. Does that help with sales at all? Why do you think we've got so many potatoes to offload?
Deja, dear, your order. Oh, I'll get a grains for gains bowl. I hear ya. And Cammy, what are you feeling, sweetie?
Instead of answering right away, Cameron gave a wistful sigh. Their eyes drifted away toward a small neon-lit sign mounted by the kitchen door.
Cammy, we talked about this.
I want the big one.
Cam, you're smarter than this. You've already tried the big one, and you haven't looked at a burger the same ever since. It's okay to just not win.
The big one. Hold on, is this some kind of secret menu situation? What's the big one?
It's the greatest mistake on our green earth is what it is.
Oh, it's the greatest mistake on our green earth is what it is.
Oh, don't be so dramatic, Nico.
It's a burger with 6 veggie patties, vegan cheese between every layer, and all the fixings you can imagine. Bacon strips, half a jar of pickles. We used to put a whole buffalo chicken thigh on top, but the health department had told us to stop.
Would you believe that? A health risk. No one says anything about those silly charcoal drinks. Sure, we'll let the kids eat coal, but not some vegan buffalo chicken? It's a travesty.
Well, that almost seems manageable. It also comes with about 5 pounds of waffle potatoes. Ooh. And I take it back.
The last time Cam tried it, they were microwaving leftovers for the rest of the week.
No, listen. I think we take back all of our orders and team up. I think we could do it. There's twice as many of us this time. Aren't you supposed to finish challenges like these solo? Not at Extra Fries. The portions are just too large. And it technically only counts if you finish it in-house. But it's really just about finishing it all, for me. I've had everything else on the menu, but I've never beaten the big one. Deja and Marie could never help me finish it either.
Oh, Cammy, I can just put you up on the wall, you know.
I will not be the benefactor of potato-based nepotism. Funny. I love that. Okay, so it seems like we're going to get the big one. Percy and Elio exchanged looks before glancing at Jamie, whose answer was as plain as the moon in the sky. No, I'm getting indigestion just thinking about it. Yeah, fair. I'm gonna say I'm down, though. I'm thinking about it. How badly did you want that leg day set?
I've got no problems with vegan burgers, but this is too much for me to even think about.
That was 2 solid votes from Elio and Cam at the least. Everyone was either on the fence or flatly against it. And you? Sure, you'd accept the challenge, can I not? I don't want my stuff. Let's do it. All right, count me in then. Jamie and Deja exchanged a glance before they each folded with appropriate grace. Fine.
This is what we get for mooching off our friends' meals.
Photo wall, here we come. I'd rather die. You might.
Again, the photo wall is for people who finish it in-house, but okay. Scratching everything for the big one. I respect it, kids, but I gotta say, I wish you luck.
Camila breezed back into the kitchen, inhaling to shout right as the door closed behind her. We got a big one, folks!
That's gonna take a while to put together, even if they're not that busy.
Guess we'll just chill a bit then. Unsurprisingly, there weren't that many customers eating in at the moment. A few night owls were present, focusing on their meals despite all the chaos, but overall the place was quiet. After Nikki finished figuring out payments with the 6 of you, everyone dispersed slowly through the diner. You went to check out the decorations? Extra Fries had recently extended its open hours, but aside from that and the daily specials, everything else was pretty consistent. Consistently novel. Globe lighting gleamed over the booths along the walls, each with a table and chairs that were just a little too high for the average customer. The athletic types on the staff had no trouble with the decor, of course. The place was practically designed for them. From the dumbbell-shaped handles on their trays to the spare dumbbells on each condiment tray, weights were a big part of the whole vibe. Cameron loved it. Even Deja was into it. Not just the novelty of it all, but the sheer level of Camilla's commitment to the bit. As you idled near the main computer, Nikki popped by the galley window to chat. Or main counter, rather. So, how have you been? And don't tell me you've just been studying. I know that. It's that time of year. You've been having fun tonight, at least. It's going all right. No more studying for tonight. What about you? Busy. It's a lucky night for you all, actually. Exam season means all the Windmayer's kids flood the place, and you know Aunt Camilla is trying to hold conversations with all of them at the same time. You're also a Windmayer kid, Nikki. Yeah, but not while I'm here. With a chuckle, Nikki left the kitchen, wiping his hands on a dish towel as he moved behind the counter. Sounds good for business, at least. Oh, yeah. You should have seen the drive-thru 3 hours ago. How much longer is your shift? It's 1 past 1. It's past 1 now. I was supposed to be off an hour ago. Oh, gosh. But you're still here. Yeah, I just, you know. Glancing quickly in the other's directions, Nicky shrugged, his tone softening as he worried his towel between his hands. Saw Cam's car driving up right as I was gonna head out. Figured I'd stick around and help out a bit. The big one's an all hands on deck order, you know. Yes, but what makes you think we were going to order it? I mean, if it's Cam, you know, it's usually a good hunch. But anyway, if...
Nicola, dove sei?
I don't know. Was that Italian? Question mark. Were they Italian? Was that something else? Don't know. That's my cue. Food's out in a bit. Okay, hang in there. Nikki retreated into the kitchen, and in the moment before the door swung back shut, you caught a few scraps of rapid-fire chattering between him and his aunt. The sound of a paper bag being violently shaken open echoed through the galley window, and then another bag, and another, and another.
Where's Cammy? Cammy, order's up.
A rattle of wheels sounded behind the kitchen door right before Nicola pushed it open. Out came an orange flatbed cart, rolled onto the main floor of the diner. Right on its center was a towering cardboard takeout box, surrounded by paper bags stuffed full of food. Steam curled ominously from the gaps in the packaging, and despite your earlier determination, you gulped involuntarily. The air was suddenly thick with the greasy, indulgent smell of freshly fried food. Elio stepped quickly over to take over steering the cart, and Camila tugged Cameron in for one last embrace, planting a lipsticky goodbye on one cheek with a fond chuckle.
All right, give it your best shot here. But if you end up not using the restroom for a few days, don't sue us.
Oh, thanks, Mia.
Good luck. You all come back soon, okay? I get so lonely here, I start talking to the detergent.
What am I, chopped liver?
Well, maybe if you start listening to all my horrible stories, maybe I'll start love-bombing you again. Ever think about that?
For the last time, Aunt Camila. That's not what that means.
All right, we're headed out. Bye, Mia. Bye, Nikki.
Good night, extra fries. I thought we were going to eat it here, to be honest. But that's okay. And then you were back in the parking lot, quickly packing bag after bag of food into the Camobile's trunk. I've been meaning to ask. We're doing takeout, but where are we taking everything? Oh, you'll see. Buckle back up, everyone. Almost every late-night excursion with Cameron involved the same off-campus hangout. As the neon glow of the diner's signage disappeared in the rear view, you noted the familiar turns Cameron was taking. There was no doubt this night was headed in the same direction. No problems here. It was a typical turn of events, after all. After a few minutes, the car's wheels rolled off asphalt onto rough gravel. Percy perked up as the road took you on a wide, curving turn. The lanes merged and merged some more until the headlights illuminated only a stretch of unpaved ground ahead. Oh my god. I knew it. This is where they murder us after ordering the big one. This is your fault, you know. I have a perfectly amicable relationship with Cameron before this. Come on, guys. Cam, where are we going? To your final resting place. Told you. Cameron laughed, switching gears as the path began sloping up. Gradually, it evened back out on a out at a higher elevation, and finally the car pulled to the side, clunking gently as it settled at the park. Oh gosh, the same thing has happened. Okay, sorry about that. It hasn't been too long, so it should be okay, but I don't know why OBS is doing that lately. Hopefully it doesn't happen. It only happened once the last time I recorded also, so forgive me. Honestly, you haven't missed so much. If anything, you could just close your eyes and listen to whatever I'm saying. But as you know, we're about to go have the takeout order and eat the big one. So let's just focus on that. Okay, hop on out and see for yourselves. Yeah, head on out. Dee, you want to get the seats down with me? Mm-hmm. After Elio, Percy, and Jamie climbed out of the car, you and Deja returned to the middle row, expertly pulling the seats forward and reaching to fold the back row of the seats flat. Cameron scampered to set all the food to one side, making space for Deja to flap a few blankets out on the car floor. Oh, look at the view. I think we're getting faster every time we do this. The system works. Okay, guys, guys? Hello? It's their first time here. I think they're taking in the view. Deja gestured with a jut of her chin. Your guests for the night had indeed wandered off to stare over the nearby fence, each marveling at what was on the other side. It's so pretty. Framed by the lush greenery and velvet dark mountains, Fairfield glowed in the distance, a reef of warm late-night lights, as if the very last vestiges of sunset were caught in the glint of 1,000 faraway windows. Nearby, a hiking trail wound into the muted darkness, curving away from the sparse lamplight in a matter of steps. Cameron's was the only car in the lot, and despite the proximity to the city, the air was quiet and cool. Welcome to Half Point. It's not really named that, though it's just a sparking spot for part of the hiking trails nearby. They go even further up into the mountains, but, well, it's Half Point. What do you think? There was no answer as the three of them stared out a little longer. Jamie nodded a little in faint acknowledgement, and Elio tilted his head back, gazing up into the night sky. Then, with a scrape of gravel, Percy swung a leg over the fence, levering himself up to sit on the upper rail. One foot kicked gently back and forth, his shoulders rising as he took in a big, contemplative breath. He's just shouting things. Penis! As loud as we can. His voice washed over the darkened trails far below, before echoing faintly back. Deja was the first to break the silence, her composure crackling as she choked on a sudden laugh. The others crumbled into giggles soon after. Even Jamie, though he made sure to roll his eyes too. Beep, beep, it's the Weenie Mobile. Peter Piper picked a prickly pecker. Cock-a-doodle-doo. The fence wobbled slightly as Cameron leaped up, grabbing a post and leaning forward over the grassy precipice. You and Deja followed them, though he stopped a little ways back to avoid jostling anyone. The corner of her mouth quirked up before she leaned forward, letting out a loud, rasping yell. I can never yell when these things come up. Everyone, put your hands up. It's the Peen Patrol. A battle of weenie wits? You're in. I don't know. Deputy Ding Dong here to protect your tickly. Leave me alone, Elio. That is the weakest shit, Marie. Oh, like Jamie's was any better. What was wrong with mine? It was a nursery rhyme. Schlong. Hickory dickory dock. Penis, penis. Shut the fuck up. Who said that? An absolute roar of rage burst from somewhere below. Each of you flinched backward, alternately blanching and laughing at the sudden knowledge that you were in fact not alone up here. Is that? We're trying to celebrate our anniversary. Can you stop dicking around? Oh my god, it's Mace. Mace? RRA. But who are they celebrating with? They said it was an anniversary. I didn't even know Mace was seeing anyone. What? Sorry about that. Happy anniversary. Dude. Many happy returns. Hope you're having a nice night. You know, I was having a nice night until you started screaming, Percy. Oh, fuck. Roar's down there. Oh my god. Our A's are dating. Oh my gosh, what juicy gossip, honestly. How crazy. If I hear another word up there, I'm coming up to do something about it. Good night. A taut silence settled over the mountainside, and one by one you each stepped back from the fence. Well, that was an unexpected twist. Yeah, for a start. Still kind of sucks how that played out. Had that one cocked and ready, did you? Jamie's soft chuckle drew the antics to a close. For all his formalities, it seemed not even he could withstand an entire barrage of ill-phrased shouts. Oh, and it's a great spot, to answer your question from earlier. Good. Come on, let's eat. Cameron waved back in the direction of the car, running ahead to pull the trunk open. The seats already folded down, the back of the SUV now served as a sheltered picnic spot. Why not eat at the tables? The benches sag. Plus, this way the wind doesn't move anything. We do this all the time. Climb in. Ooh. Jamie was first, shuffling quickly to the farthest corner of the newly arranged space. Turning, he set his back against the folded seats, tucking his legs carefully along the trunk wall. Cameron and Deja slid over to their own spots, and as you filled the space beside your roommate, Elio and Percy sat toward the back door of the car. In the center of you was a cluster of cardboard takeout containers, one of which sat absurdly tall over the rest. Frankly, it was a miracle it hadn't tipped over during the ride up to Half Point. Ever so carefully, Cameron lifted the entire box just enough that Deja could slide an extra wide basket underneath. And now, it's time. Delicately, they eased open the folded tab at the very top, and the box opened, its sides falling flat to reveal the night's main event. There she was, that hulking masterpiece of vegan American cuisine. The big one, leaned serenely to one side, held together by some miracle plant-based cheese substitute. Each of the 6 patties was thicker than your thumb. Light glimmered faintly on ridge-cut pickles, and a thick, almost coagulating sauce sat like motor between layers of lettuce leaves, thick-cut tomatoes, and sliced onion. Wow, that sounds really good, though, a lot. She's beautiful. Oh, she is, but she's not alone. With an air of solemn resignation, Deja laid several sheets of checkered grease-proof paper around the big one. Then, with a rustle of paper, Cameron dumped 5 pounds of waffle fries into the basket. A cloud of steam puffed up into the trunk space, doing little to hide how brightly they were grinning. I was going to say, we kind of need a picture. Wow, that's a lot. Oh my goodness. It looks so good, though. Definitely good for at least 6 people. Where are these pictures? Here we are. My comrades in Burger, our battle has begun. Oh, sweet lord. My stomach already hurts. Remind me what the challenge is again? The baselines to finish in an hour, but Mia changes it depending on how many people there are. There's 6 of us, so 10-minute timer? 10 minutes! If we must. Thankfully, Nikki had included a stack of plates and disposable cutlery. Each of you took a set, while Cameron and Elio took over the arduous task of splitting the big one between 6 plates. I was kind of expecting more bread. How are we going to make 6 burgers out of this? I'm just gonna split it horizontally. There's not actually 6 burger buns in there, are there? No, from what I can tell. There's a bun on the bottom and on top, and that's it. Oh yeah, that thing's soggy. Who wants the bottom layer? Pass. Pass. Cowards. I'll take it. Hiking up his shirt, Percy briskly undid his belt, pulling it free and lobbing it up into the front section of the camomile. He's ready. He held up his plate on the next second, receiving a layered stack of burger accoutrement with a hearty grin. Jamie occupied himself with passing out drinks. By the time he had every order matched up, his own plate was full, and he sat quietly contemplating it, tapping a fork idly against a chunk of tomato. Marie, Dee, Elio, and me. Okay, and then Cam plucked the comically small flag off the top, then sawed the upper bun into 6 even wedges, passing the pieces out to everyone present. Then they quickly reached down, drawing the knife through the sea of split fries to split it into portions. And we're all set. You pulled your own plate toward you for a closer look. At least with the 6 of you in the running, you'd only each have to eat 1 patty, as well as a triple handful of fixings and almost a pound of fries each. Ooh, a lot of fries. Elio tugged out the waistband of his sweats, wiggling his eyebrows at the rest of you before letting it snap back. Well, it's been an honor. Are you ready to claim a place in Extra Fries history? Salute. You held up a waffle fry in an enthusiastic salute. Ready. The others snatched up fries of their own, and your hands met over the center of the fry basket in a greasy toast. Who's got the timer? I've got it. Get ready, get set, go! Oh gosh. What do I do? Good thing it's not a timed event. Cut down the burger even more. It looks smaller. Compartmentalize. Break down the burger into components. Hide the burgers in the fries. Just go for it. Pick up that burger patty and take a huge bite. I mean, just go for it. Even if you didn't have any burger buns to hold on to, you could lift your part of the burger and keep it balanced to avoid losing anything. Here comes Ray with a big first bite. The first of many, I hope. And you did just that, chewing urgently despite the sheer volume of food in your mouth. Nom nom nom. Deja and Jamie weren't as enthusiastic about getting their hands dirty as you were. I've heard of finger food, but this is just ridiculous. It's the moisture, isn't it? And the sauce, yes. And the cheese. Chuckling softly, Deja passed over an extra set of cutlery, and the two of them set about cutting their burger patties into sensibly sized portions. 5 minutes down, 5 to go. 5 minutes? Oh, God. It already felt like you've been eating forever. Could you keep going? Need liquid. It was a little unfortunate that the big one didn't include a big drink. But on second thought, your kidneys were twinging just thinking of whatever the drink equivalent to this much food would be. You just took a sip of your normal-sized drink and trudged on. Liquid's gonna fill you up. You've gotta just power through. I don't know. You know those hot dog eating competitions? Everyone's dunking their hot dog buns in water to get them down. All right, yeah, but we've got practically 0 buns here. I'd do anything for a nice, soft bread right now. It'd be so easy to eat. Less talking. I was gonna say, we only got 10 minutes, everyone. No talking, but it's good for capturing this event. More chewing. The alarm beeped all too soon, bringing an abrupt end to your suffering. Scraps of veggie patties and errant vegetables were left on every plate, and a truly discouraging number of fries were left piled at the center of your miserable circle. None among you had thought it would be an easy feat. Still, you'd been brought low, and per Mia's warning, you had nobody to blame for it but yourselves. So, who's ready for dessert? If you'd been tired before, you were now about 5 seconds from straight up passing out in the back of Cameron's car. The food had been flat out overwhelming, and you felt ridiculously heavy, perhaps even to the point of medical concern. Hey, there's still something in this bag. What the? Who ordered an entire cake? I did. Well, Mia gave it to me for beating that strength game in the restaurant. I can't even think about it right now. I'll explode.
Alas, even if your hearts and bodies protested, the cake could not go to waste. You all pulled yourself upright, and a final flatter package, the size of a pizza box, landed on the car floor with a thump. The lid opened, and a sweet vanilla-scented fragrance replaced the smell of cold fries. Behold, the fruit of Elios's labors.
Mia calls it the pound plate, and now I see why.
The entire cake was shaped like a weight training plate, and complete with a hole in the center for a barbell to fit through. Where the weight and brand would typically be marked on the plate, there was simply the name of the cursed thing's creator, Extra Fries. Well, the good news is there's no challenge involved with this one. There's nothing stopping us from splitting it up and taking it home. Cake keeps much better than fast food does anyway. So we all agreed, and yet, as if puppeteered by Mia's will from afar, you slowly passed out more plates, cut of slices of the dense, heavy cake, and sat in silence, staring grimly down at your dessert. Inconceivably, Cameron was the first to move, lifting a forkful of heavy pound cake with a determined sigh. I won't let Elio's hard work go to waste. Jamie was next, lifting his plate up and taking the tiniest nibble out of his slice. Percy only picked half-heartedly at his cake, sitting turned to the side with one leg hanging off the trunk's edge. With the big one no longer in the way, Deja and Cam each stretched out their legs, leaning back as far as they could. In the other corner, Jamie was also laid flat. Apparently, one bite was all he'd been about willing to take. His lower body was stretched neatly under the triangle formed by Elio's bent legs. Elio himself was lying, with his head toward the open trunk, staring upside down, out the back of the car. As long as everyone was getting comfortable, you... Gosh. To the right? Where? Wait. I think... Jamie's in a corner. I don't even know what side we're on. This way? Left? No, it's Percy, which makes sense. Percy, can I get by? He leaned back as if to acquiesce, though he also lifted a leg and gently pressed his foot to the opposite wall, blocking your exit. You made a shooing gesture, and he snorted lightly before withdrawing to give you room. Scooting closer to the edge of the trunk, you leaned out in time to relish a gentle breeze that passed, stretching out your limbs before you returned to your spot. As always, if you had to be at this hour, Half Point was one of your favorite places to go. It was a secret place that you, Deja, and Cam shared, and somewhere you could go to retreat from the world. It just happened that this time there were 6 of you rather than 3. Eventually, Elia's voice wove through the food-induced haze that settled over the car. Hey, Cam. Yeah? Where'd you get all this stuff? He stretched his arm up as high as he could toward the glow-in-the-dark stars plastered all over the roof. Which stuff? You know, all of it? Well, everything on the ceiling is pretty much from events or concerts. The stars are from a dollar store, though. The glue's melted out there by now. Couldn't get them down if I tried. Cameron giggled from their spot on the floor, their head lolling to glance over the car's interior. Percy drew his legs in and turned, scooting a little ways back into the trunk, his head tilted to one side, bracing against his shoulder. Yeah, now that I've got a better look, I'm taking back what I said about this being a mom car. It's pretty you. What is that supposed to mean? Just like if I'd seen the inside without knowing this was your car, I'd still be like, yeah, this is Cameron's car, you know? Thanks. You know what they say about making your house a home. I try to do that with my car, too. I can't take all the credit, though. Dee and Marie helped out a lot. Here was a frog, there was a frog. They noticed all the frogs, right? Cam really likes frogs if it wasn't obvious. Solid gift option every time. The steering wheel cover came first, then the headrest pillows. My family noticed that I was complaining my neck hurt. And what about this little guy up on the ceiling? What little guy? Oh, I have no idea. Ghost frog.
The middle console's got some albums and textbooks. Mostly albums. Yeah, but textbooks too. I mean, it's like having a locker on wheels, right? Unless you mean you're actually studying in here too. I can hear the judgment in your voice, and as a matter of fact, I do study in here. When I'm not taking power naps. Cameron patted the blankets laid out underneath you all, and you nodded along to confirm that the chamomile was a grade A place to sleep. I've seen them use their philosophy books as a pillow once. Yeah, never again. My dreams keep asking me if I was dreaming.
Honestly, if I had the option, I'd keep my notes within reaching distance, too.
Can't stop working even for a second, huh?
Finals are just around the corner.
Don't remind me. Deja rolled her eyes teasingly, shooting the three boys a bemused look.
Well, it's no problem as long as we study ahead of time, like tonight,
Percy pulled the most innocent face he could, although his bemused smile twitched a little with telltale humor. Oh, definitely. What could you possibly be implying, Deja?
I'm just wondering about all that racket we heard before we left the library. What kind of studying was that?
Physics. Like, Ilya, we were reviewing your stuff, right? Oh, yeah, new and stuff. Had to make sure I understood how gravity works before exams.
Sure.
And are we to believe that you, Miss Lemaire, were studying the entire time? Yeah, Deja. Were you?
Of course I was, and I have witnesses to prove it.
A likely story. Witnesses, what do you have to say about this claim? You want us to testify against Deja? Who do you think we are? Comrades and burgers. I thought we were closer than that. I thought we were friends, Cam. Ilio slid his half-empty plate meaningfully across the blankets, his lip quivering as he turned his head toward Cameron. They stuck out a hand to stop him, crossing the arm over their eyes as they muffled the cry of mock anguish. Ugh, my weakness. Big brown eyes. If you're not going to look at me, I'm just going to have to use them on Marie, too.
If I don't look, it won't work.
Ilya flopped back down with a defeated laugh, his legs jostling lightly against Jamie's. Fine, keep your secrets. Wait, no, we're not glossing over this. Lamar's own best friends won't say a single bad thing about her. Isn't that more suspicious?
You doubt my spotless record, Percy?
Well, how can I not? Who here knows something about Deja that most people don't? You and Cameron immediately raised your hands, and Percy put up his own palms up to halt whatever you were going to say. Okay, wait. See? I'm proving the point again. You see? Come on. We know stuff about Deja. She's going to be a city planner. Yeah, okay. And what's the name of her first pet? Reginald. the 5th.
At least bait me more convincingly if you're going to fish for information like that.
Okay, I'll do you a better one then. Sheesh. Here. Classic icebreaker. Truth, truth, and lie. How's that? Deja snorted lightly, one hand twisting into an airy, dismissive gesture.
It's a bit late for icebreakers now, isn't it?
Come on, don't tell me you're afraid of being a little honest in front of our friends.
Are you trying to antagonize me?
Me? Never. I was just trying to suggest a little friendly competition. But if you're not into it, fine. The twitch of the corner of her lips was all you needed to know that Percy had inadvertently sealed the deal.
All right, but you're going first. I have to decide which cards I'm playing.
Shouldn't that apply to me, too? No, it's better if you both pick things as quickly as possible. Go, go, go. All right, give me a second at least. Got it. I once got a belly ring for shits and giggles, but it got infected, so I had to give it up. My middle name is so lame that I legally had to remove it when I returned 18. And my pollen allergies are occasionally so bad I've thrown my back out over them. Which one's a lie? Deja tapped a finger against her chin while Cameron stuck up a hand. Their fingers splayed against the weak glow that came from the stars stuck overhead. It can't be the allergies, right? Who throws their back out over a little sneezing? Me.
I'm going with middle name. Whatever it was, it couldn't be as lame as Percy.
Wait, that means both of you believe the belly ring story. I could believe it. I mean, you have other piercings, but we're just going to even it out and pick the belly ring.
Actually, I don't believe it. That belly ring's made of lies.
And that's where you're wrong. Yanking up his shirt, Percy tapped just above his navel, pointing out the faintest trace of a closed piercing before he let the fabric drop. Got it when I was 17. But I kept messing with the little charm while it was healing. Irritated the living shit out of the actual piercing. Healed over now, right? Would you want to try again? I hope not. He screamed like a baby the first time, so... Anyway, for the second, Deja had it right. Or the record. Your turn. Come on, give me your best shot. Interesting. Leaning back, Percy wiggled his fingers into a goading gesture. Deja in turn lifted a hand, counting off her statements, one by one. When I was 14, I shoved my first boyfriend into a fountain because I was worried our braces would get stuck if we kissed. Ilya guffawed, then promptly choked on his spit. Deja continued with barely a blink. Clearly, she'd chosen to start strong. Once, someone tried to prank me with a sandwich cookie filled with toothpaste. They thought I spit it out, so instead I ate the entire thing. And I once stayed on a spinning cup ride for half an hour on a dare. Obviously, the last one was the lie. Deja was pretty prone to motion sickness, especially in tight quarters. Neither Percy, Elio, nor Jamie would know, of course, unless you gave someone a little help. No one deserves my saving grace, even though I'm supposed to be maybe helping. Sandwich cookie. Nah, has to be the boyfriend thing. I refuse to believe Deja could ever panic like that. I was thinking the boyfriend thing too. It just sounds way too comical. Wrong. As much as I wish it doesn't happen. The boyfriend thing was definitely a real-life event. My condolences. Wait then, teacups? Teacups. Damn. You quickly raised a hand to hide a fierce yawn, slumping back over onto your elbows as you relax against the side of the car. And there you go. Has the ice been sufficiently broken now? Honestly, I'd say so. For example, we learned Deja will do some insane shit if she has to. What exactly is so insane about throwing a boyfriend into a fountain? No, it's totally reasonable. No problems there. No problems. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the whole toothpaste thing. What could you possibly have to prove so bad that you eat a whole toothpaste cookie? Did I need a reason? They wanted me to wuss out, so I didn't. You know what? I do feel like I know you better now. Yeah, it really puts all of Deja's work with the SGB into perspective, doesn't it? Hey, I got plenty of reasons for the SGB stuff. It's not like I do it all on a whim. I don't know. You last year did kind of organize an entire holiday party because people said there wasn't enough funding for it. Listen, it's not my fault some people don't know how to read a spreadsheet. Laughter burst through the silence with quiet fireworks, fizzling out into another comfortable silence. In the quiet of it all, your eyelids began to slip. It was so late. You were full and warm, and the longer you laid there, the more the conversation around you dulled, fading into a quiet, companionable hum. Oh, Marie, let me get you another blanket. No, I'm fine. So tired. I would fall asleep. I would have fell asleep a long time ago. No, it's cool. I don't really mind. Then do night? If it's... Question marks. Shh. You'll wake her. Maybe Deja and Cameron. The light of the morning sun filtered through your curtains onto your face. For long you stirred from your slumber, staring up in a daze as the ceiling slowly came into focus. How'd you get back home? Or get tucked back into your bed, for that matter? You were still wearing last night's clothes, and there was the sound of a cabinet shutting somewhere in the apartment. Deja was already awake then. Must have been her and Cameron who got you back home. After waking up a bit more, you escaped the comfort of your bed and made your way into the hall. Sitting at the island, Deja blinked a silent greeting at you over her coffee, and you stifled a yawn as you waved. Morning. Cameron leaned out of the kitchen with a grin, bright-eyed and cheerful as always. Good morning. Did you all sleep okay? I dreamed I had to climb out of a pit of waffles, but I kept falling back in. Oh, hello. Oh, you too? I dreamed I was getting chased down by a big, beefy burger man. I dreamed we ordered 2 big ones and then had to quit school. We should get going, though. I kind of fell asleep with my contacts in. Ugh. There was a collective winds of sympathy as Percy blinked his reddened eyes with a weary, rueful smile. I have some eye drops you can use. Deja disappeared into her room, and the boys gathered themselves in the meantime, tactfully preparing themselves for a simple exit. It'd been an impromptu sleepover, after all. You all had different plans for the day, and there was an unspoken need not to impose too much. The night hadn't gone exactly as you'd expected, but considering all you had in mind was endless studying, that hadn't been a bad thing. You got to share some parts of your unique campus life with them, and everyone had gotten a chance to learn something about each other outside of the usual antics. After a quick round of thanks and farewells, Percy, Jamie, and Elio were gone. I said Jamie-o, that's so funny. You climbed back onto the couch, indulging into one more sleepy yawn. Cameron finished plumping up the cushions stacked on the floor, then promptly flopped over onto them. Deja returned from the door, stirring a mug of coffee as she sat next to you. Her shoulder bumped conspiratorially against yours, nudging your attention away from the morning sky outside. You know, someone had to bring you to your bed last night. Okay. Uh-huh. And it wasn't us. Why wouldn't it be you guys? Huh? Wait. No. Yes. No. Yes. Guess who? Uh, it had to be Elio, right? I mean, yeah. Percy wanted to draw on your face first. Yeah, Elio decided to carry you up before he found a marker. Thank you. And Jamie was already half asleep, so he really didn't participate. Okay, I didn't ask. Oh, I know you were wondering. Thanks, Rumi. You two were two sleepy little peas in a pod. I mean, I was also wondering, for the record. I said I didn't ask. I don't know what you expected, Maria. It's not like I could carry you alone. Hey, Marie? What's up? Don't you have an exam in an hour? An exam? I should have gone to bed last night. Oh my gosh, I should have gone. If I have an exam today? Fuck. Oh, fuck for real. I cannot imagine doing that. Oh my god. A tort is an act through which an individual can be held responsible in a court of civic law, which is obviously different from criminal law. There are 3 basic types of torts, but name at least 5 that exist within each. Marie. Dude, you're doing it again. What am I doing? I can see your eyes moving under your eyelids. Relax, we're done. Finals are over. We made it. Maybe you're right, Kim. I can't stop thinking. Without opening your eyes, you smiled softly, and before long you could hear Cameron rustling through a bag off to your side. Yay, finals are over. A water bottle, slick with condensation, pressed up against your cheek for the taking. That's the spirit. And can I get some grapes? Man, you give a mouse a water bottle and suddenly she's asking for grapes and a palm frond to fan her with. What next? You're going to ask me to rub your shoulders? Will you? No, but I could be convinced, maybe. Isn't a whole picnic already enough? Are we celebrating the end of finals? At least we made it through. Let's hope that we got good grades, everyone. Deja's long nails skimmed across your temple before she pressed a warm hand against your eyelids. She was doing a valiant job of ignoring how numb her leg was as she sat with your head resting on her lap. Your haunting by law textbooks aside, Cameron wasn't wrong. The semester was over. Final season had officially come and gone, and all that remained was waiting for your grades to come in. Thanks for organizing this, Dee. I can't take credit for all of it. Everyone on campus seemed to have the same idea. Yeah, I can't believe we even found a spot. The ring today was littered with students. Some rested in the hammocks that the SGB had set up when finals started. Others chattered among themselves about parties or vacations. And still others, like you and your friends, were content to soak up the sunshine instead. Deja, bless her, had also brought snacks. Thank you. Reaching aside, she plucked a small wedge of cheese and a cracker from the plate sitting on the blanket. How do you think you did, Cam? I mean... Cameron's smile weakened, and they turned aside, pulling a grape free and popping it into their mouth. I feel all right. I mean, I think I killed it with my philosophy finals, but... the law stuff. I don't know which joker in the college counselor's office was like, sure, Let them double major. It'll go great.
You studied your ass off. I'm sure you did do great, Cam.
You mean you're telling me it gets worse? Cameron hummed apologetically, and your stomach sank a little. You know you couldn't avoid the miserable grind for knowledge in your field, but you had your fair share of cramming to do. But the pressure hadn't been too bad. The knowledge that this wasn't the end of the world if you didn't get perfect marks had kept you sane. You'd like to think you'd taken things as seriously as you needed to, studying whenever and wherever you could, based on whatever else was on your schedule. Well, at least you know what to look forward to next year. Kind of. Honestly, if I can just pass, that'll be enough.
Hey, you did more to prepare this time, so that's a start.
Yeah, at least 2 group study sessions to your name. And 2 were all I needed, right?
Well, I was hoping you would show up to a few more next term, but I did see you working pretty hard on revisions this time. Good job.
I'm guessing you're not worried, Deja.
Am I ever?
All right, Miss Humble Brag.
Deja stifled a laugh, feigning innocence. The two of you knew better than anyone else that even the student vice president had to put in some real elbow grease to succeed as much as she had. At least I didn't have any actual exams to study for. Did not have the time.
Good thing you had time to do like 10 projects instead.
Projects are different. I get to use my hot glue gun for the projects.
Uh-huh. And what about that big study group day in the library?
That project had been turned into a slide presentation. Tragically boring, I know.
Ugh, I hope you color-coded the shit out of it.
Oh, I'll always have time for color coding.
We can only hope a certain someone got just as much as you did that day, Dee.
I'd say that certain someone did just fine that day, too. At their skeptical glances, you waved your hands in a loose shrug. You were way too far past the events of that day to feel too guilty about running off with Percy and Elio. When their glances persisted, though, you opened your mouth to explain yourself. We brought you back drinks and snacks, didn't we?
I do love some half-soggy chili fries after studying, for real.
I still hold they could have been soggier if you'd gotten back so quickly.
You're telling me you wanted those fries in liquid form?
No, I want to hear what happened. Spill already.
Yeah, spill the beans. What'd you do while you were gone?
Okay, honestly, we saw the horticultural club selling plants, so... Marie, I love you, but what in the world would you be doing at a plant sale?
My best?
That's too sincere for me to say anything else, damn it.
Anyway, did you see anything cool?
Oh, well, Elio found a really big fern. He's pretty excited about it, but in a different way than usual. He's rather excitable by default. What was different this time? I think it reminded him of home, and they ended up buying it. And don't think you two are innocent in this either.
Us, innocent. Thank you.
And why do you say that, Marie? You two and Jamie weren't even in the study room when we got back. What was that about, I said I had an SGB thing come up, didn't I?
Yeah, that's a likely story.
Like it or not, it's the only story. He sighed, long, low, and slow. Deja only smiled. I'll get the truth one day. I have no doubt you will. We'll think of it as a pre-law test. Stretching her arms high overhead, Deja let out a slight whine. The mere thought of school manifested imaginary knots in her shoulders. Her twisting and turning jostled your head from its designated rest, but not enough to knock you off. Just 2 more years to go, and it'll all be over. A beautiful, fleeting dream that I'll be thinking about when I'm in the office for 8 hours a day.
Cry for me, Deja, when I get eaten alive by my actual textbooks in grad school.
Not when you choose it.
Okay, so this is great. I like that we get more, time with the 3 of us. I'm plugging in my computer, so that's why I'm kind of pausing for a bit. And we're reminding me that these people are lawyer people, or will be lawyer people one day. It was crazy to think about it. I'm not around too many lawyer people, but I am curious what their school is going to be like, or how is it going to be continued to be portrayed here. Anyways, Cameron fell gracelessly back backward, their hand pressed against her forehead. After a bit of shared laughter, you settled to idly watch the clouds drift by. People came and went across the lawn, and thanks to the slow hustle and bustle, your mind wandered away from classes and toward thoughts of today. The lovely weather, the good food, and company to be had. It's been a while since the three of you got to spend time together like this. Can't believe I'm graduating next year. Chunks of grass were being pulled up by the root. Dirt scattered as the fact hung in the air. Had that much time really passed since you met them? This time next spring, you'd be seeing them across the stage in the next phase of their life. Pretty wild, huh? 'Cause then, crazy that I'll have to start applications soon. That early? Yeah, I mean, be a shoo-in for the program here. But I don't know. I was thinking about applying to some other places, too. I went here because it's near my folks, and I saved a fortune not having to pay rent. But it feels like... Maybe you should talk to your parents about it. I'm sure they'd be able to help you figure out the scarier parts if you ask. No, that's true, yeah. I shouldn't give up before I even try. And it's okay to feel anxious about it, but I hope that doesn't stop you from doing what you want. It's just easy to feel overwhelmed, you know? Hey! And I know I can break it into smaller steps, but that doesn't... Hey, look out! Oh gosh. A wayward frisbee? All the commotion froze you in place, making you a convenient stopping point for the very thing they were chasing. Thankfully, the frisbee wasn't going so fast that it'd bruise you. It still hurt when it smacked you in the face. Ow! Oh man, I'm sorry. Are you alright? Yeah, it's okay. Hey. Glad you're apologizing, less glad you almost trampled us. Oh, no, sorry again. We were trying to stay in the corner, but... Just be careful, will you? The offending students wilted a little under Deja's disapproving glare. They quickly left with another mumbled apology and their metaphorical tails tucked between their legs. Unbelievable. It's all right, Dee. I don't think they could have apologized more if they tried. You know, I half expected it to be them. The Frisbee people? Oh, wait. You thought they were Elio and the others. Yeah, I thought they were doing a bit, running and shouting to see what we do. Didn't realize it was a bunch of strangers until way too late. Let's be a little fair to them. Sometimes it's not per se Jamie and Elio causing a mess. It's us. When have we caused trouble for them exactly? I'll get back to you on that. Where are they, anyway? You invited them, right, Mary? Let me check. Picnic? We ate all the food. No! Lamau, we're on our way. Just got Elio from his last final. Okay, but who's this? Oh, that's the... They're on their way. Cool. We've been hanging out with them so much the last 2 weeks that it's kind of weird not seeing them. Crazy that we basically met them. Just met them. Elio really made good on actually hanging out after the barbecue. Did you think he was actually going to? Nope. But that's nothing against Elio. Most people say they will, then life happens, you know? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happened to everyone I met during orientation. Not that I showed up to any parties people tried to throw anyway. You showed up to this party. That's all that matters. Like I'd ever miss it, come rain or shine. It shined today, thankfully. Looks like we're finally done with spring showers. Good. We got so much rain, my folks got sandbags to keep the water from leaking into our garage. You guys are literally the quietest people here. I have zero idea how you expected us to find you. Hey, guys. Elio invited himself down onto a corner of the blanket, grinning as you, Deja, and Cam shifted to make room. Percy opted to sit on the grass nearby instead, while Jamie hovered next to him with arms crossed loosely over his chest. How are your finals? Jamie shrugged noncommittally, while Elio, after meeting Deja's gaze and securing her approval, plucked a grape from the bunch to snack a bit before he answered. Sucked. Who knew astrophysics would be murder on your brain? Yes. How hard can rocket science be? Percy chuckled, shaking his head as he reached to snap a cracker in half. He handed one piece to Jamie before snagging the other half for himself. It was fine. Exams are exams, you know? I'm not sweating it too much. Probably didn't strain myself too hard compared to you guys out there. Finding an open spot in the green is more stressful than anything else. You're telling me. Nearly had to have Cameron bowl over a sorority. They were fundraising, too. Dangerous stuff, man. Their rival quickly lapsed into casual conversation, a back and forth between the three of them, Deja and Cameron and you. It was like the end of the barbecue all over again. Stretched out across the lawn, talking about anything and everything, except this time it wasn't so much to learn about each other as it was to catch up on the gaps in between. Did the six of you look like friends now? Did you even want to? I mean, yeah. As he listened to what must have been Elio's thousandth time retelling of his attempted frat rush freshman year, Percy smiled gently, barely concealing a laugh by pressing the back of his hand to his mouth. Now that you've gotten to know him, it was true that Percy was quieter than his first impression had implied he'd be. He wasn't usually the person to suggest things, the first person to suggest things, and he was more than happy to roll with the punches when it came to, well, everything. Instigating was a rarity, unless strangers were involved. It was an uncommon combination. When it comes to Percy, you've been right from the start that you get along to say that you get along with him. Yep. Something about Percy just seemed to click with you, and you reasoned that the two of you would only grow closer as friends with more time and hangouts. Maybe you'd get to where he was with Jamie and Elio, and he'd get to where you were with Cameron and Deja. That's when I looked down, pants gone just straight up. And then? What do you mean, then? Then I walked home, knees in the breeze. Elio laughed, his cheeks warm from both the embarrassment and the laughter. His entire body seemed to shake with infectious joy, and even the strangers who happened to be sitting nearby stifled chuckles at his enthusiasm. Pulling people along with his orbit came effortlessly to him, whether it was a chance meeting or something more insightful. Either way, you knew time spent around Elio was promise of something interesting happening. When it came to Elio, he brought more trouble than you thought. No, I want to be friends. The two of you were head dash to the hip, just like you expected. You were friends, and thankfully, he hadn't noticed your growing feelings for him. If you didn't know, I'm gonna go for Jamie first. I like all of them. To be honest, Percy's introduction really made me want to go onto Percy's route first, but we're gonna go to Jamie first. We're attached to the hip. Elio made himself easy to befriend and easier to be fond of. He was fun, and obviously hanging out with him was a guaranteed blast. You weren't so insistent as to think he'd spend every waking moment with you, but when your hangouts did overlap, everything just fell naturally into place. All the while, Jamie and Deja were content to listen, splitting a plate of fruit between themselves as Cameron and Elio battled stories back and forth. Amusement gleamed subtly in each of their eyes, though Jamie's veneer was quicker to crack. All it took was a particularly silly noise from Elio, and Jamie coughed a delicate laugh, shoulders jolting in a moment of unguarded humor. Okay, my recording stopped again, but I'm just going to keep going, but let me come back first after. Okay, I'm back. We're talking about Jamie. With a reputation like campus boyfriend, there had been some expectation that Jamie was untouchable, literally or otherwise. Watching him laugh, though, he was obviously just Tim. A normal student, I'll bet one who liked playing up a sense of mystery. When it came to Jamie, you got taken in by the campus boyfriend thing, but not anymore. Jamie wasn't someone you liked that way, but you still thought of him as a friend. There was no way that you could have liked him any more than you already did, which is where I'm going, because that's what I made whenever I recorded that first video or two. You weren't trying to deepen your feelings for him, and yet here you were, hopelessly attentive to his every movement. The best you could do was hope that nobody else had noticed yet. Even you were having some trouble figuring out how much of this was a crush and how much was just his effect on people. So fair, actually. Like, I think that is something to disentangle. That sounded unfair, even in your own head. All the more reason to never let it slip. Your phone buzzed in your pocket, snapping you from your reverie. You dug it out from its confines, swiping to find a notification from Jamie. It was a picture of you, zoning out with nary a care in the world. As candid as it was a pretty decent photo. When you twisted in your seat to look at him, Jamie was pointedly staring off to this side. His profile as photogenic as always, complete with the tiniest upcurve toward his mouth. Hello, hi? I was hoping to catch a less flattering shot. You were making a face like you were hundreds of miles away. This is the worst photo you could have taken. No. Is this self-deprecating? Wait, what did we think of wrong? Um... This is the worst photo of me that you could have taken? Question mark? Apparently. Oh, this is the worst photo you could take of me. I look great in this. I would frame it. You must be awfully unphotogenic if this is the best photo ever taken of you. Okay, I was trying to compliment your skills, photo skills, but sure. What? From where he stood, Jamie laughed. It was a precious, genuine sound. Hearing it wasn't exactly a rare feat within this friend group, given the shit you all managed to get into. It was still an occasion, regardless, if only because of how sweet it was to the ear. You could never get enough of it. Jamie's laugh was intoxicatingly simple. Never mind that chasing after it was the reason you needed soothing in the first place. To bottle it up and drink it down would surely be unwise, and yet you thought you could get addicted, if only he'd offer it to you more often. With a laugh of your own, you raised a peace sign, lips puckering like a guppy's for the camera. Jamie rolled his eyes, but lifted his phone anyway. A second snapshot appeared in your text soon after. "'Kay, my turn." With a shrug of one shoulder and a small, amused chuckle, Jamie moved to sit on the grass next to you. Drawing his legs in toward himself, he draped his arm over his knees, head tilting slightly as he smiled, and held still, waiting for you to raise your phone. Literally, if I am actually Marie, for real, I would die. This would be so crazy to see this. Like, it'd be like, oh my god, maybe the person that I like is like right here. Anyways. Ooh, photo taking time. How about we take a picture together? Hell yeah. You give her an inch and she'll take a mile. His brows creased with mock exasperation, but he leaned forward anyway, his shoulder brushing yours as he lifted a middle finger. Heart thrumming in your chest, you quickly held your phone out, tapping the shutter button before you got too nervous. The image of the two of you froze, then minimized into the camera roll, carrying with it proof that Jamie could indulge you sometimes when he wasn't busy messing with you. And now that you've been entertained, penny for your thoughts. Just thinking about you. Without hesitation, Jamie flicked you lightly in the shoulder, his expression placid. Ow! Try again. I wasn't finished. I meant you as in all of you guys. Uh-huh. Hey, friendly friar, what's going on over there? We're just chatting. I see that, silly. I was hoping for details. I mean, I can recap it all, but it's all just small talk. Could you? That'd be rather impressive in itself. Never mind, but I'd expect something juicy next time I ask. Anyway, I was going to ask what everyone is doing this summer. Not much. I was planning on sticking around Fairfield, but I haven't figured out where I'm staying yet. Got any room at your place, Cam? Don't. My folks would adopt you. All part of my long con. Any other plans? Making the biggest meatball, singular. The last time you tried that, the meat at the center stayed completely raw. No, okay, so this time I'm going to put spaghetti inside the meatball, and I'm doing an internship over at the observatory. Oh, okay, spaghetti plans, meatball plans, summer plans, observatory internship plans. The one near campus. Yeah, had to fight off like 20 other people to get a spot, figuratively. Makes sense. If anyone else in astrophysics is trying to stay local, they'd be applying there. Yep, our options are basically wherever a program already exists, like JPL in California or Cape Canaveral. Lame, right? Both of those places sound like solid summer vacation spots, dude. That didn't sound like Anisha, but it's fine. How I said that. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to convince myself that this was the better option. And it froze again. Okay, I'm back. But luckily it was just at the spaghetti part. But yeah, we're talking about Elios doing his observatory stuff. Anything on the agenda for you, Jamie? Well, my dad went back to to visit his family for the summer, so I was planning on staying here too. You didn't want to go with. So all the boys are here this summer is what I'm hearing. No, it's important for him to have his time with them. My going along would just mean they'd want to accommodate me instead. Grandson adjacent affection and all. My summer plans were work on myself. I don't know, work on myself this summer. Work on what? Like your life? Kind of. Self-reflection, maybe some routine things. No better time for that when we have the time to do it, right? Oh, I see what you mean. Not too stressful, but still something you plan to do, yeah? You could learn from her example, Percy. Is it a crime to just want to vegetate? What about you guys? My internship's in town, so I'll pop in from time to time. Same old, same old. Unlike Cam, my internship's in the city, so I am going home. But you'll see me around when campus tours start back up. No, Deja! I'll probably be back a few times aside from that to keep Marie company. Ah, so no crashing in your dorm for the summer. Ha, funny. Even if I said yes, RRA would never let you. Summer housing is so expensive, though. Tough shit. You did turn in our form to stay for the summer, right, Percy? Yeah, relax. We got the place for another season. So, we'll all be around, more or less. If I had known, we could have gone one of those vacation homes together. No, no one can live without that many beanbags other than, well, us. But we're still hanging out, right? Only if you guys want to. I know everyone's probably busy, but, my home's technically a town over, and last year Deja and Marie weren't really here, so Cameron shrank as the open invitation became a point of sudden insecurity, but Ely was more than happy to pick up where they'd left off with a cheerful pat to their shoulder. Sure, I'll figure out when everyone's free and we can set up a thing. This guy's birthday is at the end of summer anyway, so maybe we can make a big thing out of it. Oh, well, I don't really need that. Maybe something simple. He might enjoy the Perseids. We can meet up before then. Seriously, I'll put some things together. This summer break would be longer than the ones you had in high school. Nearly 4 months of long, warm days on the horizon, with a near guarantee that you'd be seeing familiar faces along the way. Maybe coincidence had brought you together, but there had developed a particular thoughtfulness that had kept you together while the semester had drawn to a close. You didn't deny the tickle in your stomach at the thought of a full summer spent in each other's company, now that you knew them, thanks to chance and circumstance. Of course, you're excited to hang out with Cameron and Deja too, but, well, there was someone else you were particularly interested in learning more about too. This could be your chance to test the waters and dip into those giddy fables of a summer romance. Who knew what would happen in 4 months? You couldn't help but wonder at the faintest hint of a citrusy, sun-painted dream, which electrified and terrified you at the merest brush against your imagination. As soon as the break surged in full swing, maybe it'd be time to chase after that vision, no matter where it took you or what waited at its end. Yay, thank you for playing! Congratulations on finishing your spring semester. For all of us here at Blank House, thank you for playing. We're excited to see you for summer, but we're launching a Kickstarter this October, which I assume was last year. You can follow the campaign here. If you're interested in continuing to support our work, please follow, share, and tell all your friends, and you can find us on Twitter and Tumblr. See you soon! This is so cute! I want to see the extras. We didn't get all the extra. I guess it would just depend on some other stuff we did, which is fine. Which is great! Well... Oh, well, I think the screen has not updated. I am on the main screen right now, but since this is the end, I will just leave it. Sorry, though, that we can't see the game page. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed Keyframes as much as I have. There's so much you can do, and honestly, so many choices you can make. So it'd be amiss of me if I did not go back and take a look at it, but I will be doing so in my off time and off the channel. But let me know what you think, and what do you think of the character so far and the spring semester, or at least the last couple of weeks of it. I like that we have our little friend group and that we'll all be able to hang out in the summer, more or less, so that's wonderful. Um, yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I look forward to when summer will be released. I don't know when that is, but hopefully relatively soon. But you can't rush perfection, so I will be patient. But anyways, thank you again for watching. If you like the video, please don't forget to press the like button, and feel free to subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of indie visual novels on my channel, as well as keyframes in the future once the summer season has been released. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I will